We're here at Washington's National Airport awaiting the arrival of our very distinguished guests, the King and Queen of England. When they arrive, you will hear a 21-son galoot.
This is Indiana's first broadcasting station.
A program director of a Texas station finished preparing the day's schedule. Later, he made a change. Instead of Les Brown's orchestra, he substituted a religious program which was to originate from New York. He scratched out Les Brown's name and wrote over it, Yom Kippur. When the new announcer came on shift, he picked up the schedule and exhorted his listeners to
stay tuned for the dance music of Yom Kippur's orchestra.
Our next selection was written by George Gershwin, with lyrics by his lovely wife, Ira.
And Dad will love Wonder Bread's delicious flavor, too. Remember, it's Wonder Bread for the breast in bed.
One of radio's dependable and veteran announcers came out with this classic.
And so ends another version of a famous love story.
Sometimes an announcer has to rush to beat a second hand around the clock. This announcer hurriedly finished a religious program to be in time for a station break.
And be sure to listen next week when the topic of the sermon will be Cast Thy Broad Upon the Waters. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
We take you to Monmouth Racetrack in Monmouth, New Jersey.
Well, now, just before we get down to the feature race, it looks very much today, in the opinion of the experts, that it's going to be a very, very close contest between Dolly Jane and that beautiful new bay, Harass. Now, just a minute, fans. I've noticed here that Harass is not going to run. Remember now, Harass is not going to run. Be sure to scratch Harass.
Go to your neighborhood theater to see Go to your neighborhood theater to see Rita Hayworth, whose salami will take your breath away.
Everyone in your family will love Manischewitz wine. Sweet, but not too sweet. Tangy, just right. Get Manischewitz wine, WABD, New York.
Ladies, does your husband wake up in the morning feeling listless?
Newsmen also have their sense of humor, as evidenced by the complete breakup of this newscaster.
In the wonder world of science, the Hayden Planetarium has heard from a Minnesota man who claims that the shape of Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, can be changed by flapping a bedsheet at them from the ground. The planetarium doubts it, but the man says he did successfully flap sheets in his backyard one midnight, though his wife kept hollering at him to cut out the foolishness and get back in the house. Now here are today's closing Dow Jones stock averages. Industrials off 14 cents, rails up 3 cents, utilities up 7 cents. And that's today's Headline Edition.
Tune in tomorrow at this same time for Headline Edition. You'll hear important reports of the names who made the news and vivid on... This Sunday evening, be sure to hear Drew Pearson on ABC. Pearson has received many awards for his work, and one of his treasures is the Saturday Review of Literature citation. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Let's tune in an audience participation show and hear part of this classic interview.
I have children aged 2, 3, 5, and 6.
What happened to 4, madam?
That's the year we got our television set.
We take you now to BBC in England, where a children's show is in progress.
We're going to play a hiding and finding game with the music. Now, this is what we do. We pretend that you've got some balls, and I'm going to hide them. They might be hidden high up near the ceiling, or they might be hidden low down on the floor. You don't know where I'm going to hide your balls, but the music will tell you. Now, first of all, shut your eyes while I hide them. Yes, shut your eyes. Now, open your eyes. And dance lightly about, looking everywhere for your balls. And now the music's going to tell you where your balls are. They may be high up, so that you have to stretch and jump up for them, or they may be low down, so that you have to pick them up off the floor. Listen. Well, were your balls high up or low down? They were high up, and I hope you've all jumped up and got them. Now, dance round and toss them in the air and play with them.
The following prescribed is transcribed.
On an audience participation show, Herb Schreiner, the popular Indiana Hoosier, asked a woman if she were a natural-born citizen of the United States.
Oh, no, I was born cesarean.
Evening Melodies is heard 1 hour earlier if your community is on Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour later if, well, there is a 2-hour difference in certain cities that, oh, to hell with it.
Out of the mouths of babes, oft-time come gems. Let's tune in on the airwaves' brightest children's program.
And what's your name, little fella?
Kenneth.
How old are you, Kenneth?
5.
5. And did you ever do anything wrong?
I farted.
I see.
And now stay tuned for I Love Loosely.
On Strike It Rich, popular television program, the Master of Ceremonies interviewed a 5-year-old child whose father was in the U.S. Army serving in Korea. The child wanted to strike it rich for a new bed and a larger apartment. Let's listen in to the child's problem.
My daddy is in the Army in Korea. When my Uncle Charlie comes over the weekends, he makes me sleep in the kitchen. But he's really not my Uncle Charlie.
And so we conclude highlights from Volume 1 of Pardon My Blooper, the first recorded album featuring a collection of radio and television's most hilarious boners.